Okay, here we are. I had a bit of technical trouble. First the light didn't work, and then the camera didn't work, and yeah, very chaotic. Yeah, I kind of want to get stuff done this weekend. So it's the third live stream in 3 days, I guess. I think. No, we didn't stream on Friday, so it's the second one in 2 days, I guess. Okay, yeah, let's quickly see where we are. So basically, the printer looks exactly like it looked last time. Nothing happened. Today we will work on the Toolhead. So we actually just get this out of the way, then we have a little bit more space. So we took a quick look yesterday. Let me get that. Oh. Downward angled. Here we go. So we took a quick look yesterday. So just to recap quickly, there is some trouble with the Bontech gears I got. So basically this one is not to... Hey, welcome back. Just to quickly recap, so this one is not to spec and it should work, but it's like super tight fit basically. But yeah, so that's basically one part. And then what I actually did, maybe now is not the best time for a software update. Let's do it maybe later. What I did is I printed this part again. So this one works technically, but there's a little yeah, you see it. So basically I had to cut out this little part here. So it's basically you press it in and there's like a little overhang on the bottom. So to make the bearing fit, I had to cut it out, which technically should be fine. Like I don't think it's a problem because the motor is sitting like flush on the back, so it can't really pop out or something. But yeah, I still want to have it nice. So these parts are reprinted. Yeah, I guess let's check the manual, what we need to do first. Heated inserts. Okay, so these two parts here are not required for me. I actually somewhere have aluminum spacers. So I didn't print them. We don't have to put heated inserts in there. So it looks like it's only the main cowling and what's the part? The shuttle is the other part. Okay. So it's basically 3, 1, 2, and then down here. I'm a little bit scared of putting the heated insert in this one. Let's see how it goes. And the shuttle is this little guy here. Let's grab some heated inserts. Restore. Oh, working space again. Okay. Let's start with the small one first. Okay, yep, that worked. That is close. Yeah, I kind of burned it a little bit maybe. Turn on the heat and let it slide in. Yeah, I also thought about like using a screw just to heat up the screw basically with the heated insert on the front and then just push it in. But I think it should work. Like if I'm pushing it straight down, it should work. You know what I could do? I have a practice piece. Let's just try it with the one we won't use. Oh god. This is really tight. Let me just make sure to not mix up all the bad parts. Let's see. So if I just... Yeah, it works. It works well. I mean, you can't really see it on the camera, but there's like plenty space around. Super easy. Now I wasted one, but I guess there should be some spares. Worst case, I have to get it out again. Okay, let's do it again. A bit more. Here we go. All three in. Maybe this one can go a little bit more. Okay. Perfect. Cool. I think this one goes in here. Okay, let's check the manual. What is next? Learning material is never wasted, it's true. It's only wasted if you don't spend it and then like ruin the actual part. Let me quickly check which one was not a bad one. I think this one should be the nice fitting one. So this one, yeah, this one is nice. Let's use this one. Okay. So we have plenty more. 2 on the bottom and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's start with the easy one. That's good. And then I guess this one is the tricky part. It looks like the same spacing as the other one, so should be fine. Oh yeah, oh that's actually a bit tighter. Yeah, so it's not burned. But this is like basically the exact radius of the thicker part of the tool. there's like no gap. I guess also like the ABS is a little bit more resistant to like melting if you don't really press into it. Let's do the last 2. Okay. Okay. They all look fine. Let's see what's next. BMG idler assembly. Lubricate the bearings. Yes, we should do that. Then we need this housing and M2 self-tapping screw. Okay, so this is the part. That's also yes. I missed the M2x6. Oh, you mean this one? Was it already supposed to be in there? Oh yes, I did miss the M2x6. You're most likely saving me hours of work with all the things I forget. 3x6. Let's see if we find that. Let's see. Let's put those back. It's a flathead. This is 2x6 flathead, exactly. I'm actually super lucky. Like, I accidentally used those for, I think one of the linear rails. I can't remember which one anymore. And only because I disassembled the entire printer again, I noticed that I had the wrong screws in that linear rail. Because I was running out of those flathead M2x6. So I guess sometimes it's good to redo what you did before. Let's just fully put it in for now. Oh. Huh. There's like ever so slight crack now. Like, I kind of see it. Ah, it should be fine. Okay. Then now we need to. I wonder why we put in a screw here. Like it's supposed to go in here, right? Quickly cross check. Yeah, that's exactly the spot. Most likely it's just like to like support the part or something. That's or maybe some adjustment for later on that you can like. It goes quite deep. Yeah, let's not over tighten that. Okay, so that's this part. Then we wanted to check the BMG parts. And we need some paper towel. And where do I have my grease? Ah. Here, do we have some grease? This looks super nasty. This is the Mobilux EP2, which is the one that was suggested on the Voron. The flathead? Yeah, the flathead is for the for adjusting the pressure on the gears. I know that. But this one, like, it doesn't seem like you adjust something with it. And it's like one part. So I'm not sure if it's just like to like support the structural integrity for that. But I mean, like, just like to pull those sections together. Really not sure. I'm just curious. Okay, let's see. How do we do that? Maybe I'll just put in some grease in the middle, and then we can put this on. And I guess this is plenty for both. Ah. Let's put this back in its nasty bag. I guess I should also be a little bit on the outside. Yeah, it's definitely greased up. It should be plenty. Yeah, exactly. That's just like for supporting layer strength. That's what I thought. I mean, it's quite a small and delicate piece, so yeah, it should be enough. Okay, let's push it in. Yep. Runs nice and smoothly. And I have very greasy hands. Okay. Continue. So then this one is empty. Let's put it on a stack of empty bags. Oh yeah, it's even said I should really start reading more of those texts. Added strength. The screw is there to provide extra strength to the guider component. Yes, must be on the right hand side. Like there's also like no way you get it in the other way, I guess. And the support we removed. Of course. Okay. So here's the gear part, and that's exactly where ours is not to spec. Because where it here calls out for 3 millimeters, we have 1.8 or 2 or something. But yeah, it should be fine. Luckily, we don't have to shorten the shaft. It's the exact opposite, so that's good. The bearings must slip on. Yes, do not shim into position. I'm not quite sure what do not shim into position means, but I guess that's like kind of like force the bearing on. Yes, yeah, we don't press them on, like they just slide in. Remove the bearings. Yes. Okay, so now here, now this is this part. So we basically have 3 options to choose from. Let's get this out of the way. So these are all already parts up here. So these are the 2 I just printed. And this one is the one that somewhat fit. The difference is basically this has an extrusion multiplier of 1. Like you see, it's somewhat over extruded. I'm not quite sure why I didn't catch that before. And this one has an extrusion multiplier of 0.98. So it's almost under extruded. Like you see it here, there's a little bit of like gap between, but it should be fine. And then one of those, I'm not sure which one because I didn't label them, has a XY compensation of minus 0.05. So it's just like a hair, like expanded basically. So one of the 2 should fit, hopefully. And if not, we go back to this part here. Like it's like it's a proper fit now. Like I worked a little bit on the part. Yeah, so this one is nice. That's the exact same problem I had before, where like it doesn't quite sink in. Like it's not getting quite flush, which I think is the intention. Okay, let's try the other one. Yeah, this one is a bit tighter. So this one is the one with the XY compensation. I mean, I'm not quite sure if it should be, because it looks like looking in here that it's like bottom. It's not quite on the bottom, I think. There's like still like a little bit of space. But I think I put my screwdriver in like this now. Yep. Let's see. I also don't want to like push too much on it. The problem is like if I now put it together. I think we're not quite aligned. Well, it works. But the gear definitely sits like lower, like it's almost, like it's not touching the bottom part, but it's like, there's like zero gap here basically. And with the other part, it sits like with this part where I removed this like bottom lip basically, it sits completely flush in the part. And if I use this one, like you see the gear sits a little bit higher up. Like there's a little bit of like more like room for adjustment. So I think I'll stick with this one then. Just because like it's a little bit easier to adjust. On the other side, if it's sitting lower, like maybe it is a little bit of help with my shaft, which is too short. Because at the moment, we're like down 0.63 and the total height is something like, yeah, so we have like 2 millimeters of overlap almost, which should be like basically the entire thing. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think I roll with this part here. Let me actually. Yeah, in the models, the bearings it's flush. That's also what I see in the manual. If I think I saw it in the manual, that's also flush. No, I didn't see it in the manual, but I hear it protrudes out a little bit. Like I assume this one is the bearing, this section here. But yeah, I don't think it really matters as long as like the important part is this red gap here, right? Like that the gear, the 50 tooth gear doesn't rub on top or bottom. And with the part I modified a bit where the bearing sits flush, I have way more gap. Like it's an equal gap on both sides, so that's definitely like preferable. So I just roll with the part where I remove this like bottom lip. Yeah, should be fine. Less concerned about that. We do need to glue the nuts still in place. And I'm expert with instant glue. That's my... I always mess up with glue. So this time I actually bought the one with the little like brush. Hopefully this helps me to not screw up. Okay. I predict I will have glue on my hands in half a second. This might have worked. Bit of glue on the back. Yeah, looks good. I didn't create a mess. I'm very, very happy. Hey! I have no clue what a Neptune 3 or a Neptune 4 is. I'm very sorry. So basically, it doesn't matter if you have Clipper or Marlin, right? Like if you want to use a red octoprint. Yeah, octoprint or mainsail. I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter, right? Like you can use octoprint with Clipper and you can use octoprint with Marlin. The only thing you can't do is use mainsail with Marlin. But if you want to use octoprint, like it's either way. Yeah, like instant glue is like it's the worst. Like with great power comes great responsibility situation. Okay, let's quickly check the manual. We need to put in screws and stuff. We skipped around quite a bit. So we did this part, we did that part. We did this now. We super glued the nut into position. Okay, now we have to puzzle it together. So the shuttle goes in like this. Then we have the guidler going in like this. And then we have a latch somewhere that goes in like this. And then this does mechanical stuff. Oh. Yes. This looks good. And then the manual most likely tells us to put this second part on. Yes, and 3 screws, and 1 we shouldn't tighten because it's used as a hinge pin. And then we have 2 screws from the bottom, which is M3 by 25 and M3 by 10. So let's do some treasure hunt in the screw section. This is 35, 8, 6, 30. That's what's the annoying part about it's flathead and buttonhead. I already want to complain that they have like multiple bags for the same screws, which is a thing, but I can't blame it right now. Okay, let's put out. $50, 35, 8, 12, 6, 16. Here's 25. And if we now find tens, 6, 8, 30, 8, 10. Here we go. Maybe I should have like sorted it in the beginning, like just like put all the screws in different bins, like sorted by length or something. So we need 2 of those and 3 of the 25s. Okay. We lost some parts. Put in this one first, then this one, and that one. You want to know if the Clipper is worth it? Well, so I never worked with Clipper. This will be my first Clipper printer. So I'm not quite sure if I'm like super like qualified to answer that. From my experience with Marlin and seeing what Clipper can do, I think Clipper is way nicer to configure and is way more flexible. Like from a technical perspective, Clipper doesn't offer any massive benefits anymore. Like it was always like the input shaping that you could have on Clipper, right? But not on Marlin. But now with the latest Marlin release, you also have input shaping on Marlin. So this doesn't make a huge difference most likely anymore. I guess for me, it's like mostly like the configuration that would be different. This one was a screw we shouldn't fully tighten. No, the bottom one we shouldn't fully tighten. So I think if I would now like get something, I most likely would go for Clipper. You have more options, right? Like Clipper can do anything Marlin can do, plus some more. You can use Octoprint with Clipper and Marlin, but you can't, like if you want to go down the Moonraker route, basically, with mainsail or fluid, you can't do that with Marlin. So I guess going for Clipper would be the smarter choice. It just gives you more options. I mean, like in a couple of weeks, when I have this like together and like printed with it, I can most likely give you like more qualified response on whether Clipper is good or not. But I mean, a lot of people seem to like it. I think this screw needs to go in at least as deep as that one. Let's see. There's some friction where it goes down. Okay, let's see. So this is stiff. Most likely needs a little bit of working in. And it's loose on the end, that's good. Yeah. I think also like maybe get this out a little bit. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah. Perfect. This looks good. Let's get the ones on the bottom in. Oh. Well, not with this tool. Actually, one feature of Clipper that is really cool, like that's not really like important for you, but I find this like very interesting, is the ability to use multiple printer mainboards at the same time. So basically, I have a like quote unquote broken SKR Mini E3, and it's a version 2, and it's broken because the fan MOSFET is broken. I could unsolder it and resolder it, but my soldering skills are way too bad for that. So I actually replaced the entire mainboard with the SKR Mini E3 V3. So now basically I have twice the same board, more or less. And I'm thinking whether I want to like upgrade my Ender 3 to have multi-extruder. So to have like 2 extruders basically, one on each side or something. And then have Clipper on it and run the second extruder from the second mainboard. So I have enough step drivers. There would be like a very nice way of like recycling that like quote unquote broken mainboard and like making use of it and not just like trashing it basically. So that's kind of like one thing as a Clipper experiment I want to try. Yeah, this sounds like really nice. Like it's a little bit like it snaps into place, it snaps open, but it's like easy to work. And like you see the, how's it called, the shuttle? Like how it's like moving in and out. It's like a nice mechanic. I'm so impressed, like people who can like build stuff like that. Like I'm a software engineer. I have no clue. Like I'm building stuff in Fusion, but it's like way less complicated than that. It's like a completely new world for me. And I'm so impressed with people who can like design stuff like that. Yes, so this one we basically already assembled. That's all ready. So we just put on the motor plate. Let's drop this in. Let's put our super glued nuts. Let's see if it's still, let's open it. That would make sense. Close it. Yeah. Except that it, we should. Yeah, that kind of that works. Let's add the missing parts. Which starts by searching for screws. And 3x8. And 3x6. There's also bag with M2.5 by 6 or 8 or something. I really wonder when we will need M2.5 screws. I didn't pay attention. Are we screwing in plastic or is there a thread insert below? I know it's a thread insert for sure. Or I forgot what I did like 5 minutes ago. This one's like not really grabbing onto something. I don't like this one. Let me quickly check what's up there. Was it M3x6 or something longer? Oh. Ah, this one is an M3x10 and the other two are M3x6. Okay. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. And conveniently, we still have them here. Yeah, this was the one that was like in the corner. That's why it's like it's deeper in. Let's try again. Yeah, not grabbing. Okay. Perfect. I'm not quite sure when I'll put the back with the M3x6. Yeah, now we have one loose screw, it's fine. Okay. It's like getting hefty. Something happened to my keyboard shortcuts. They no longer work suddenly. Weird. Yes, we check this. Align the drive gear. While the 50T gear is centered, open the guide and loosen the grab screw on the BMG drive. Yes, that's basically something I already did when drive fitting. So we have the proper alignment there. Let's just... So basically, let's just close it again. Yeah, so it's... this is annoying. Now I have to always go back and click on it. But yeah, so basically if it has the proper gaps top and bottom. So this is aligned and fine. Okay. So we don't need to adjust the grab screw. We use a piece of filament. Okay, let's get parts for this. I guess that's kind of like the pretty much the end of this box here. We have a little bit of like PTFE tube to connect the hot end and the extruder. Okay, so we have two springs. They look different. Yeah, they're definitely different. Note on springs. The longer, shorter, stiffer springs will change the tension characteristics and have an impact on how well the tension mechanism works. Consider buying the original Bondtech part. Yes, I have those. As those are known to work well. If you source from a different vendor, that's not applying to us. Yes, okay. Turning the thumb screw clockwise to increase the tension and grip on filament. Too much tension will result in print issues. Okay. I guess it's like a spare spring, but they look different. They kind of look a little bit different, like color-wise. And it definitely also like... I mean, they have the same dimensions. Yeah, let's use the one that's on there, and I guess this should be fine. Like, I really like this like little like thumb knot with the LDO logo on it. It's screwing into the plastic here, which I don't like. Maybe we should quickly drill out this hole here to make sure that's like... Yeah, let me quickly get my drill set again. Just to make sure that this is like nice and smooth. 1 second. Okay. I kind of want to have like a hand, like some grip for just like having drills manually. It's kind of like, it's not a lot. Okay. Interesting. It's just kind of like, I expected it to be like much tighter, but seems to be fine. I wonder why then the screw. Okay, there was like that much material that somehow caused the screw to bind to the hole. Okay, not gonna complain. Let's get this out of the way, and let's try this again. Yeah, no, it's in the right spot. Okay, so this looks good. There's a lot of friction now. I mean, tighten that, loosen it a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm most likely will have to play around a little bit. I also should get a fresh piece of filament without the marks on there, so we can see like how deeply it cuts into the material. Yeah, that's kind of like at some point like you get a lot of resistance, which I guess is kind of what you want. Okay, let me quickly grab a fresh piece of filament without any extruder marks, because this one is like, you can see it like there's like, this one is from my ender that went through my ender extruder, and it's like really deep. And on the other side you have like this really light, I didn't see it on camera, but there's like a little bit of like thing. So I guess it's not from this one. Okay, let me quickly grab some filament. Okay, I have some cheap PLA. So let's just get rid of all the parts that have marks on them already. And then let's just amazing, I lost that here. Let's just take, not quite sure how much I guess gray is a good color to see what we're doing. Let's just move it a little bit through. I mean, it's extruding, so it's kind of like doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, they're like really. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a pattern on there, but it's like really light. Let's try the other side. And tension is a little bit more. Let's just pull a bit through. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, like the manual says light marks. This is like really light. Let's quickly read the manual. Yes, this is fine for us, like the mechanic works. We have this little screw here to adjust the minimum distance, which I don't think we need for the filaments. Like this will print ABS mostly and some PLA, so it should be fine. I don't print flexibles, so yeah. Yes, that's an anti-squish thingy magic. This is a section I'm concerned with. Close the latch and put some piece of filament through the extruder. Then spin a 50-tooth gear with the finger to test feeding capability. You're looking for light teeth marks on the surface of the filament. When we will repeat this step once again. Okay, let me just like tighten this like a fair bit, so I just see like kind of like heavier tooth marks for a second. Oh, so I just turned it like one rotation. Yeah, now there's a nice pattern there. Yeah. It's really hard to show. I don't think there's any chance you see. I can see a little bit of rippling pattern here, right? But then most likely YouTube compression comes along and you don't see anything. Let me just remove that kind of use section and just give it another turn. Okay. Yeah, there's a nice pattern on both sides. I think that's good. It's not like if you compare it to what my Ender extruder is doing, like there's like you really see it on camera, right? Like there's like a really like coarse, like you can also hear it. And this one, no, from the, is it called a pocket watch? I can't remember. Like it's a very different like pitch when I like rub my nail over it. Like it's like very fine and thin, and this one is like, yeah. But I think it's good. Let's keep it like this for now. I mean, it also told us we will redo that again, so I think for now it's fine. Like I'm very happy with like how the mechanic works. Like it's very like solid feeling. It's only like printed parts and screws basically, so that's very nice. Okay. Then fans already. Okay. So we need basically 3 fans, which I of course well prepared as I am, don't have here. Let me grab the electronics part. Okay, so basically, except for the PSU, we now have everything that's left from the kit here. Like, it's really like not that much stuff left. Like, it's cables, of course. That's the PTFE tube to connect the spool holder in the back. Here are our fans, which we need. And then, yeah, mainboard. My piece of pure gold raspberry. Tape. Heatsink for the raspberry. And that's the fan for the electronics. Yeah, it's like really not a lot left. Okay, fans. Another empty bag for the empty bag pile. Okay, so we start with the left side. That sits nicely. I'm also planning on adding LEDs here. So it's like kind of like shitty documentation, but this like slot here fits a LED. It's called the Sequin LED from Adafruit, I think. So basically, like you put a very small cable, two very small cables through here. This comes out here, and then basically solder the LED on this side and pull the cables back, and you just glue the LED here. This has exactly the shape of the LED. And then the cable basically, I assume, just follows the path of the other cables. It won't be RGB, like it's just like white LED. Like you get them different colors. I think there's also RGB version of that. But the Toolhead board that comes with this kit, and I plan on using, quickly get that. The Toolhead board, let me quickly get a sip of water. The Toolhead board conveniently has a free header. So basically, that's the part cooling fan, like those two on the side. We have the hot end fan, is this one. And then we have the thermistor, the heater cartridge. And then in the middle, there's the X stop. Because the 0.1 kit, or like 0.1 used to have an X end stop on the tool head. 0.2 is sensorless, but the board is still the same. So we have basically this thingy here. And I checked the documentation of the Picobellico. So basically this is ground, and it's the GPIO port 0. So what we can do is we can use the GPIO port actually to power the two LEDs, because LEDs only pull 5 milliamperes, which is fine to be pulled from a GPIO pin. So we can basically just like mess with the Clipper config and make this port GPIO port 0 LED, and then we will have like a little bit of a part illumination, which I love. Like it's like one thing I really hate not having on my other printer. So it will be like really nice to just have like the LEDs here on that spot. This one doesn't. I mean, it's seated, like it's making contact here on the bottom. Not sure if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, but like here it's completely on the bottom. But here you have a little bit of like frame on top. And here you have a little bit of frame on the bottom, which is weird. Not sure if it's the fans. That's like not 1000% centered. But this should be correct. I think. Do they blow in the right direction? Yeah, so what's the orientation I was supposed to do it, right? Yeah, must be. Should have put in the other fan though. Yeah, it's the cable orients to the basically to the back. Yeah, okay, so that fan is in the right orientation. Let's quickly get this one out again. And this fan goes in with the cable towards the bottom. So this goes in like this. Like, I wonder my fans are not as tight as I saw them like for other people. Like, they won't fall out or anything. I mean, they can't, right? Because we have the hot end part that basically goes in the middle. So they won't fall out or something. But like there's not like, they're like nicely fit, but it's not like tons of friction to get them in and out. Okay, let's make sure to put this cable out of the way. And then we can slide this in as well. I shouldn't have said that about the friction. Let me get this cable out of the way. Why is this not so hard? It just went in and out without problem. Now it's in, but we lost the cable. Here we go. Oh god, because I'm a genius. Okay. This cable is fine. Okay, here we go. Second attempt. So we have all fans with all cables. Like, I'm really curious to see like how we can manage all this cable mess. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Kind of like starts looking like a proper tool head. So okay, so we add the motor and we need M3 by 10 screws. And we need the last of our motors. And these are the labels. I just put them to the electronics. And I guess if you want to recrimp the connectors, also put that somewhere else. We have a cable left, and what we need. See. Yeah, they go through. That's a bit. Let's put the screws through first, and then one. Maybe we should have done it before. Yeah. Let me slightly loosen that here for a second. It should make it much easier. Okay. That back in. You can also use. I can also make my life a bit easier. Okay. Now let's put that on top. Do this side first. Let me double check if I use the right screws here. Because now basically it looks like the motor is sitting on this button head screw here. Which I'm not sure if that is correct. Let's quickly backtrack. Yeah, button head cap. Post. But it should be deeper in. Okay, I see the problem. I see the problem. So basically there's like a cavity, but my screw isn't in there. That's why there's not a problem. Okay, let's also quickly make sure. Let's quickly. Quickly make sure that the screw isn't binding. Okay. That makes our lives much easier. Okay, so now basically we need to make sure that this screw goes in all the way. So it's like flush. Yeah, now we are getting somewhere. Half a turn more. Okay, so now this is flush, and now the motor can sit on top. Okay. Now we also cleaned out the hole. We should have much easier time. It's still a bit tricky, but doable. Okay, that's one side, and then the other side has like an oval. That's a bit tricky to show, but it has an oval hole, so we can slide the motor up and down to adjust the meshing of the gears. Let me. Okay, we don't tighten it fully yet. So we can still slide the motor around. Now the fun part. Let's read the manual. Okay. Designed with intent. The screw hole on the right motor plate is slotted. Yes, that's what I just mentioned. And 3x10. Yes, and we have it loose. Better get your bifocals. I should get some maybe. Open up the extruder latch and drop the guide down so you can really rotate the 52th gear. Okay, we have that already. That's all open. All open. And we can really rotate the gear. On the next page, we will be setting a proper gear mesh between the motor 10-tooth pinion and the BMG 50-tooth gear. You will benefit from good lighting and some magnification, but it is not required. Okay, we have kind of okay lighting and we don't have magnification, so that's all good. Adjusting the motor backlash. We need to adjust the amount of engagement between the motor pinion and the 50-tooth gear. With the latch and guidler open, hold the print head at an angle that allows you to easily see and move the 50-tooth gear. Use your finger to manipulate the 50-tooth gear back and forth. As you do so, the motor moves down into the gear. As the two gears begin to mesh, you will feel and see the play of the 50-tooth gear become less and less. Once you have a very small amount of movement, your meshing is set. Once you feel good about the meshing, you have snug up to 2 M3x10s in the next step. And make sure you still have some backlash after you have those screws tightened. Zero backlash will cause the premature wear. 52th gear. Okay. Let's see if we can make this happen. Maybe also in a way that you can see something. So if I move it all the way down, there's no movement at all. If I move it all the way up, it's like really wiggly. Let me actually tighten those ever so slightly more, so it's not sliding like freely, but I can like kind of like push it around a little bit. Yeah, now there's like a little bit of friction that should make my job easier. And what also would make my job easier would be like less cables hanging around. Let me just maybe like try to put them all here. And you can go down here. Okay. So this is sliding side. Okay. So very much. Now it's 0. I guess around there. Something like this. Let me get the wording again from the manual. Lesson. Once you have a very small amount of movement, your gear mesh is set. That's, I guess this counts as very small. I know it's like still like, yeah, I guess this is good. Okay, let's hold this tight and tighten those. And check. We still have the same play. Not sure if you can. Most likely the noise filter blocks this out, but like there's a little bit like of clicking back and forth. So it should be good. Okay. Let's also triple check we have this tightened. Okay. So this is all set now. Oh, another box. I said we have everything here, but that was a lie. We don't have that here. Actually, now like wondering whether I want it a little bit, tiny bit looser. Like, I mean, there's wiggle. No, it should be fine. Okay, let me quickly get the hot end box. Here we are. So we are using the Revo in gray, matching the print. So we have the heater core and the heatsink. I actually have 2 nozzles, which I'm still like very happy about. Like I wanted to buy the 0.6 millimeter one, and it just comes bundled with the kit, which is amazing. So it's 0.4 and 0.6. Let's keep the nozzles in there. And let's see what the manual wants us to do with that. Okay. LDO Voron. The hardware assembly shown here is for LDO Voron. That's perfect for us. The total length of your PTV tube will depend on the hot end you choose. Regardless, the tube must be cut to a length that enables it to protrude from the top by 6 millimeters. The other end of the tube should be captured by the hot end. Okay, so that would be for the end. Okay, that's just all the instructions they give you for the hot end. Okay. But fair, I guess. So, I mean, it doesn't look to be too hard, right? Like we put it in here. And that is basically assembly for a hot end, right? Question is like, what screws do we use? It doesn't look to be like... Let's just quickly check with the M3 by 10, but I most likely they're too long. Are they? Yeah, they are way too long. Yeah, let's check with M3 by 8. And let's also drill out those holes. I don't know why I'm not just doing that by default for all holes by now. Keeps being a problem. Okay, now I have to get this back out. Okay, so M3 by 8-ish. That is here, M3 by 8, button head screw. Okay, let's get them in. Yeah, it's binding in the top section. That's okay. Maybe let's just push them in first. And then just screw it in like this. Yeah, that's both are in. Yep. And it's also aligning the other two, so that's good. I wonder now, like, if it's really like color dependent. Like, I have the gray frames and I have a gray heatsink because the box has the gray heart on it, which is the same gray heart sticker they have on the extrusion box. I mean, it would be cool if like you have like red extrusions and you get like a red heatsink, but it's also like kind of pointless because like you're not gonna see it, right? Okay, this one is in, and this one, yeah, no, it also wants to go in. I don't think this needs to be like hyper tight. Okay. Here we go. This one just clips on. The question is just like, what do we do with the cables, and should we have put the cables through first? That's a bit. Or do they have to go through here at all? Because this goes in facing this way. It's tight. Okay, I have to slide it in. Okay, so this goes in here. Oh, it's like really like getting hefty. And then basically this just like snaps on. Maybe we should put in a nozzle just like to kind of keep this together. Because otherwise we'll keep losing this. I really wonder why they had like to have the threaded section of the nozzle like so long. Like, wouldn't have half of that be enough to like hold the nozzle in place? I really like the system. So basically the spring pushes the heater block down against the nozzle. Okay, so where are all those cables supposed to go? Are the cables the same length? Yeah, this one is a little bit longer. So I guess this one is actually... Or is it just like supposed to go all up like this? Was here like little anchor points for like zip ties? So you can like put this here and this here. I guess we can figure this out in a second, because I guess the next step is to put on the strain relief anyways, which in our case is our custom PCB board. Yes, we forgot about the PTFE tube. Let's put that in. Okay. We have some genuine Capricorn for this. Okay, this is seated like it. Definitely locked into place. Let's push that down. Okay, it should be fine. Okay, so now I have to kind of like find the jig in my mess of boxes over here. Here we go. So there's a little jig from the manual. So just... it doesn't fit. Not good. Okay. All my holes are too tight. Wonder what happened there. Okay, this side. Okay, let's do it upside down. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Actually, do want to have it the other way around. Now we have little chamfered edges. And it slides in perfectly. Okay. Maybe that was a problem all along. Okay, cool. So, I have a knife, but I don't have something to cut on. Let's use our trusty old print bed. As a cutting board. I guess I can just easier than expected. That's also, I mean, we have plenty of PDF eTube left. But what I saw other people do is like put a small chamfer on here. I'm not sure if this is the right tool. I mean, or if it works with this tool. But this would make it much easier to feed filament. Yeah, it's working. Let's just... Okay. Now there's a very slight chamfer on the top. I think we're still like fine within the 6 millimeters exactly. Maybe let's do it a little bit more. Getting a bit more. Yeah. So that's fine. Now we have very like nice chamfer. It's not like super straight. Most likely also because I now use that tool. But it's fine. Like it's not a hot end where it's like sealing, or like a PTFE line hot end where it's sealing like on the nozzle or something. So it's fine. Okay. Then now let's slide it in. I kind of want to put a little bit of tape here. Like I keep nagging on those cables because they slide out. Let me just put a small piece of tape there, just to prevent them from like being in the way all the time. Perfect. Split right in. Oh, it's like really, I mean, it's a full tool that right with extrude and everything, but it's like compared to like the plastic parts I started with, like it's really heavy now. I like it. Like it looks like it's not a perfect print. Like you see the first layers where I had the multicolor. The Z-top did something to the extrusion. A little bit rough around the edges. Here you see it very clearly. Oh, it looks nice. Okay. Oh. I really wonder what happened to my keyboard shortcuts. Perfect. Then we have M3 by 35. I'm not sure if they're... We have M3 by 30 here. It's also... No, it's the wrong one. Because like these are the ones that are in the... Ah, yeah. It was on the bottom. Oh, and you don't see what I'm doing. Yes, here we go. M3 by 35. But these are socket head screws. And the manual calls for button head, so I'm not sure if these are the right ones. Let's quickly do a bit of searching whether we find the exact ones mentioned in the manual. That's 30, not 35. Here, M3 by 35. Button head capsule. I'm not sure if the intention was to use the other ones. Oh, was it 30 or 35? Oh, it's 35 here. I mean, it's basically just like it's the same screw, it's just the head is different, right? I think I would like those more. I would like those more. Let's use those. I'm pretty sure they are meant to be there, because it's like 3 pieces and they're like in the Toolhead box. If we need them in another spot, it's easy enough to get them out. I mean, they look... Get this out of the way. They look like they belong there. Let's see. Let's do following thing. As I said before, let's drill out all the what's now? That wants to stay. Why is it so tight now? Split in just fine. Okay, let's keep it in for now. We can also do it from here. Definitely quite tight. Okay. This one should be fine. Yeah, perfect. No, it just slides through. Okay, let's do this here as well. Okay, let's actually use the drill. Be really careful. Okay. Let's do this one as well. Okay. Yeah, I definitely like those screws there. Like this head style is better. It's better here. Perfect. This looks like a Toolhead. So let's check next steps. Okay, now they mounted already. Oh, and then they mounted from the back. That's why they mounted now. Because then the next step is the strain relief and those spacers. And then basically instead of this part here, we have our board or a PCB board. Okay. Let's get a printer and let's put it on. Give me like 30 seconds to just like clean up a little bit here so we have a little bit more space. You can even watch me a little bit. Yeah, print parts wise, like we need this one, and we need those teeny tiny things, spacers. So let's just keep that, and then this section can all go. Let me also get the nozzle and just put it somewhere because I see myself like throwing away the box with the nozzle in. Then this is spare parts for the tool head, I guess. Don't need this. Let's put the drill over here. Those parts we don't need anymore. We don't need the tape anymore. Not lose that. Okay, now we have space. Let's get the printer. Get some elevation. Wrong direction. Here we are. Yeah, we also have to trim those now. Like I'm a little bit scared of trimming them because it feels like so final to trim those. But I guess now is as good as a time as ever. Here it goes. Okay, let's make sure this is nice and flush. This looks very, like, it's barely protruding out, so that should be fine. Okay. Did I make a colossal mistake and mount this the wrong way? I did. That's such a me move. The cable is supposed to go upwards, not downwards. Well, was fun while it lasted. Let's flip the motor around. I'm actually not sure. I mean, I would never go against the manual, of course. I think I roll with it. I like it that the cables are down, like it gives like a super clean look on top, right? Because there are like no cables like poking out. And like if I hold it against the gantry, if I hold it here, like on the back, let me see if I can show that. I think we have plenty of space to run the cables below. Let's see if I can get a really nice shot. Oh, I can't tilt up more. Okay, it's a little bit crooked, but so basically, I mean, all those cables are kind of like going left and right. So they are kind of like out of the way. They're kind of like here, something like that. And then this mounts here, right? Here. So this one, it kind of comes out fine. Like there's a screw which will be a little bit difficult to get in, but like we can bend the cables away. Like this should work. And I mean, then the question is, do we like pinch the cables here? That would be like the only problem, right? If we would pinch them. Let's see. Where do you? No, it's a binding somewhere. Oh, it's a larger size. Interesting. That's the first time we have a larger bit. Where does it know? Oh yeah. Okay. So let's quickly check. So this is the PCB board that goes there. And this is mounted on the motor, like it's open on the bottom. Which means that it has like plenty of space. Let me just make sure those screws are. So basically, if that goes here like this, something like here. The PCB board is up here. So those are even unused, I think. Like I wouldn't know what to screw in there. And then we can definitely like route the cable and have it like back here, which is much cleaner. Okay, let's roll with it. Like worst case, we have to backtrack a little bit. But for now, let's roll. I think maybe I even keep the perspective like this for now. Just get a little bit closer. Let's try to align this. Yeah, no, it's in. We'll have to tighten that properly later. Perfect. I kind of want to shrink that heat shrink here. That's nice. Like we can then cable tie it here to this like cable tie mount here on the side. And then, yeah, the heater cables really only have to go here. That's a perfect length. Kind of don't want to use a lighter. Let me see if I can use the soldering iron to quickly melt that. Maybe I should have done it before, but you know, wouldn't be that much fun. I mean, you can also quickly like Let me just unscrew that quickly. Okay. Let's use a screwdriver. And I can also go a bit from the front, right? It's somewhere. Okay. Got this over here. Let's see. I wonder if we can like put. Yeah, it doesn't fit for sure. Okay, let's get it out of the way. And then let's see if we can just. No, it's slow, but it's working. It's just like much cleaner in the end than if I use a lighter. The entire thing will be black. Which I guess doesn't really matter, but... You can also, technically... What can that thing do? Just have to remember to turn it on again before we do the next heated inserts. Although I think like we're pretty much done with heated inserts. Maybe there's like a couple in the electronics. I think it's pretty much done. Okay, this is really slow. Maybe I should invest in a heat gun at some point. I never did it with such a large piece of shrink wrap. I always use it for cables or stuff. So you have like a centimeter tops. Okay. I think we can call it a day now. We could have also done like this. So would maybe we also have sped up everything. Okay. Let me quickly put it back down because otherwise I forget. I guess we can turn it off. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, this is much easier now to route. Wonder whether we should do the cable test now while it's off. Maybe this would make our life. Yeah, let's put it on and then let's route the cables. Okay. Get you back up. Just that. Here you go. Okay. Then all the cables out of the way. Okay, and then there's a screw in the back, which is M3 by 16. It's a bit small. M3 by 16, yeah. M3 by 16. Let's try to find one. M3 by 16. Oh, it's literally the first bag I had in my hand. This never happened before. Okay, let's be careful with those cables. And maybe it doesn't work at all. Let's. And it's kind of a gamble if it works or not. So, where are you stuck? Ah, yeah. It's fine. Let's just push this in first. Pay attention to all the cables again. Yeah. Why don't you go in? Maybe let's do the cable ties first, actually. Like, looking at it, So basically, my idea would be to have it like below this like little gap here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's do the cable ties quickly. No, which of course I don't have here. 1 second. Okay, let's do the cable ties. Okay. Get 2 of those. And this side is easy. Just not sure if we can have the knot on the back. Let's just keep it a little bit loose for now. And let's do the same here. And then let's put this like, there's like this little like ridge here. Like, I assume that's like where you kind of like supposed to have the cables. It's just like it pokes out here a bit, but there's like space, so it should be fine. Okay, not super tight yet, so we can like rotate it. Let me also like cut this not quite flush yet, so we can still pull. Okay. This makes it much more manageable. Maybe I can even be a bit wasteful. I'm thinking about like putting like a cable tie here so it's like out of the way. Yeah, should be fine. Okay. Let's get you back up. Okay. Yeah, so it's like way easier. Let's do the back one first. Oh, it's a small. I forgot. I mean, it's a tight thing with the cables. I'm not gonna lie, but it works. Like if you put in the screw first, because now the cables are they're not even like oh yeah, let me rotate a bit. Like there's like plenty ample space. So this is like really nice. Maybe we can like make a little twist so it's a bit more compact, but this should work. Let's put in this. I like it. Nice. And now we just have to manage this like cable mess. Okay, let's quickly check the manual just to make sure, because I'm an expert in forgetting things. So we put in that, we put in the screws, we mounted it, we added this screw. Let's see, let me give this like half another turn quickly. Okay. Yeah, strain relief spacers, and then the strain relief, which is our board. Let's get it all installed. Okay, let's see if I can rotate second to kind of reorient it a bit. Okay. Now I should remember where I put those strain relief spacers. I had them. Ah, here. Here they are. So basically, the vanilla V02 has them as printed parts, but that must be like quite painful. This is much easier. Okay, that's one. I guess those are like completely unused. Down there, the heated inserts. Okay. Let's see. This should be. Oh wait. Let's see what the wiring guide has to say. Toolhead PCB, note that labeled. I guess the wiring. It doesn't say anything on like how to use those printed parts. Because I basically have like 3 printed parts, right? Then I have this part, which I mean like obviously goes in like this. But this has like a heated insert spot on top. I mean, this then aligns like this, right? Which is all fine and well. But then the question is, what do I need? Oh, those I need. Okay, I see. So basically those go in the opposite angle so I can screw it down on like a plane. Okay. Ah, perfect. And this actually like snaps in, there's snap fit on here. So like, now I did it off camera, of course. Okay, I'm not going to pull the part in, but basically I aligned the bottom like this, and then you align like this, and you push it forward, and then like it snaps in here. So this is now like locked. Nice. Well, I'll put in the heated insert on top. The only thing I can imagine is like you put in a screw to like have strain relief here. And I'm not quite sure why you would not just print that here. Let me see. Like if we Google that. No, pick it. I had it right. No, I was Pico Bilical. God. Do we have images of that assembled somewhere? This looks definitely different than what I have printed. I mean, there's some strain relief part. Maybe I just missed that. Printed parts. Strain relief body and spacers. That's what I have. That is what I have. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's on top, so it's like easy to add later. Yeah, it's something I need to research then. Okay, then let's just put in a heated insert and then we can install it, I guess. That should be fine. Okay, let me get the printer out of the way. Heat soldering iron. Yeah, no worries, you did not miss too much, I guess. I'm doing fine. I did mount the stepper motor in the wrong orientation, but then I decided to just roll with it because I think it works out fine with the LDO picobellical. And now I'm just basically putting in this heated insert here. Like I didn't find any like manual on how to install this. Like I figured out like the printed part goes on like this, like it snaps together on top. And then I have those like teeny tiny like spacers, and they basically just allow you to have a like, because this is all angled basically, and then they kind of like create a flat surface again so you can screw it in. But I have no clue what goes in here. Like I don't have any printed part or something. I imagine that it would be like some strain relief you can like zip tie the cable to or something, but there's no part linked. Yeah, but I figured like it's on top, so I can just research that later today and like see what goes in there. Let's get. It's getting heavier. It's getting heavier. Get this back up here. Okay. So basically the tool head is now all wired up. Yeah, strain relief. Like I like just from the position, I figure it's a strain relief. But in the LDO printed parts guide, it just says picobellical and then the strain relief body, which is like the big part, and then strain relief spacer, which are the small ones. That's basically all it says here. Maybe there's a part I missed printing from like the original STLs. But I don't think that I saw something like that. It's most like a tool head. Strain relief spacer and body. Exactly, in the body we don't need. Like that doesn't fit. Like that's basically screwing into the motor here and here. And then on the heated inserts on the bottom. So it's definitely not the part we need, and that's all there is with strain relief. Like the spacers we don't need. So there's nothing here. I don't know, like I'll just check that later. there's most like somebody on YouTube who made a video on how to install that, and then yeah. But like it's on top, right? So it's like super easy to add, so it doesn't really matter. Cool. Let's get that thing on there. I'm not quite sure which screw length we should use. I guess M3 by 10. I have an M3 by 8 lying around, but let me quickly check. It might be a bit too short. So basically we put this spacers thingy. Let me also quickly, like all my screws are, it's gonna only go wrong. No, that's way too small. Okay, let's try to jump that there. But basically, no, that's way too short. That doesn't work. And I think also the M10 would also be quite short for that then. So let's just see if we can find like a 12. Or something. Oh wait, there's a... I had a bag with mounting stuff for the umbilical. Yeah, 16 I have here. Which I think came from said bag. Let's quickly compare the length there. If we put it in like this, there will be a spacer, so it's like a good amount in here, which I think should be fine. Let's just like quickly see how far it goes in. Yeah, that's fine. Let's use the 16s. Oh god. Oh no, I lost it. 1 second, I need to kind of rescue the screw. Yep, here we are. Okay, let's not drop this again. So the tricky part is now basically like those spacers are ever so slightly too tight again. And they're just like super tiny, which is not really helpful. So I guess if I do something like this, okay, that works. Let's do this again. I wonder why like suddenly all my printed parts have like too tight screw holes. Okay. Okay, then this has an angle, so this needs to go in, I guess, with the flat side facing the screw. Let's prepare 2 of those. So this one is a bit stiffer. Let's see. Okay. Let's just screw it in. Okay, and then this goes in here. Same problem. Fun. Let's see, we need to. Okay, let me also drill it out. Oh god. That's a bit annoying. Seemingly there's like a little bit of tolerance issue with the Toolhead badge in black I did. Yes. That's like, don't do that at home. Yeah, ABS shrinks, but the Voron parts should like compensate for that, right? Yeah, no, it's. Let's see, perfect. Yeah, no, it just goes in. Let's do the other side. Oh, maybe let's face upwards instead of downwards. That would make sense. It could be that I printed those like without enclosure. That's a possibility. Like I think like for small parts I sometimes didn't close the door. Maybe that's the reason. And it's a bit annoying that like they don't rotate freely on the screw. And because they have an angle. Oh, this doesn't want to go in. Why don't you want to go in there? Let me rotate that a bit. For some reason. Not refuses to go in. Yeah, it's a little bit misaligned. Oh yeah. Needed a little bit of like a push towards that direction. Okay, let's see. Okay. That side is okay. Check that side. Oh yeah, it's a really tight sandwich here now with the motor. Okay, I guess we don't have to over tighten that. Okay, so here basically that's my little screw up, but I decided to just go with it. So technically cable should come out the top, but I mounted it the other way around. And I think in the original Voron parts, you can't do it this direction. Because here would be the strain relief and it would just like pinch that cable. But because I have nothing here, I think I can just like have it like this. Like, just need to make a small loop. Maybe I crimp that again. It needs to go the other way. Just make a small loop here. Then the cable is like completely invisible from the front. We can have like tidy that a little bit later, but like now it's completely gone. So it's like completely cableless mini stealth burner, which I like. There's like screw behind like the cable, so you kind of have to like move the cables a little bit out of the way to reach it. Like kind of have to like come in from an angle. But it's working fine, so that should be all handy dandy. Okay, so this one's a part cooling fan. I of course now can't read anymore what is what. Let's quickly check the pin out. Wiring. The part cooling fan is pink, so that's the one on the side. That's this one. Yeah, it's maybe just like zip tie them back together here. Oh. Yeah, so this one is the part cooling fan, and like I guess we can just like zip tie them all together here on the back. Then this is hot end fan. Let's quickly let me check on the side. So hot end fan is orange, so this is going here. Then this is the other hot end fan, which goes, wait, part fan, yeah, that's correct. And then this one is hot end fan. Yes, and then this one's part fan. And this one goes in here. Okay, then we have, oh shit. I screwed up. Ah, shit. This needs to go here. The cable should have gone to the other side. Okay. Let's loosen the secret screw. Yeah, like once the cables are kind of like tucked back in together, like you don't see any cables from the front. That's like, I really like that. Okay, let's see. So basically we have to swap this over to here. I didn't tighten the zip ties fully down yet. Okay. Let's get two fresh ones. Oh. So basically this is just going over there. That's the only change we need to make. One second. Trying to fiddle in the zip tie. So I guess we can also now wire it right away, right? Like no need to do that on the printer then. It also makes everything a little bit easier. Okay, so we need very tiny. I don't think I have. No, that doesn't work. Okay, I have to quickly get some bits for that. 1 second. Okay, I have a magic bag with random small bits. Yeah, this one works. Okay, let's put those in. Maybe let's push that serial number thingy down. Okay. And then the ferrules are a tiny bit long. Like they stick out a fair bit. I think I'll cut off like the first. Just like this. Okay. Yeah, this one's still a little bit long. Get a little bit more here. Yeah, perfect. That's nice. Let's tighten that. And then we can maybe like bend them the other direction. Let's see, the thermistor wire is this one here. That's also, like the cables have like a good length. That's very nice. Okay, let's tighten this here. Let's rotate it also inwards. I think there's space here to have the cable tie point there. Let me get one more. And this goes in here. And that cable keeps sliding out there. I already put tape here, but this is like very annoying. Okay. Okay. Oops. This strain relief section is like ever so slightly too long. I mean, I don't want to cut it, but if it would be like half as like that much shorter, like it would just like be nice and flush. Now it's like sticking out a bit, but it's fine. Like there's nothing behind here, so we have space. Cool. So this is an all managed. Maybe we don't even need like a cable tie or something here. It's kind of like maybe we can put one here to hold those together. And then maybe one here to just bundle everything. Let's just do that. I keep it a little bit loose so we can move it around. Yep. Let's tighten it. I mean, it's quite an overhang, but it's all nice and clean. Let's not pull on those cables too much. Yeah, I guess. You can put it back on. I'm just checking like the meshing, but there's like it's tighter than it used to be. Let me quickly adjust that. Well, we have the tool head off, and we can easily adjust it. Let me quickly do that. Collect all my random loose bits. Clean it up a bit. I guess we can just loosen it here. And we should be able to slide it. It should be able. Where did I? Like I can still like rotate it a bit here. So that's fine. Like for me, it's more like the meshing, like there was zero play. I just want to quickly like readjust that. Seemingly like it moved a bit. Yeah, I think now it's fine. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's like ever so slight play now. I think that's better. Okay, let's double check. Yeah, now we have like tiny bit of play. Not sure if that's not too much, but before it was 0. Just hope that it doesn't change again. I'm sure if I didn't tighten the screws correctly. I think that should be like a good amount. Okay, let's put this back on. Let's get the printer. Let's elevate everything again. Like if I keep streaming, like I definitely need to replace this shitty thingy here. Maybe like some microphone boom arm that you can like just like move around. You clamp the table and you just move it around. That would be good. Because technically like this doesn't need a cable, so you can just like freely move it. Okay. Let's do the back screw again first. It's kind of like the okay. Like it's like there's a lot of cable now there, but you can still like put the You can still put the Allen wrench like in, and it's like you can get there quite easy. You just have to push the cables a bit other way. But I guess like if the motor cables would go upwards, like you would have like much more space down there. It's fine. Like I'm not planning on reattaching the tool head every week, so. Okay. Just a little bit. Perfect. Like this is really nice. Like don't look from the side, but if you wouldn't have put the blue cable on the outside, like that's kind of like a eyesore a little bit, but yeah. Yes, it's fine. Yeah. Starts looking like a printer. And what's really fascinating, like there's zero play on the tool head. Like a bit on the assembly now, actually. Like if I push it, like there's a little bit, but it's like really minimal. So like the linear rail is good. Cool. Then I guess that is a success. Looking at the manual, I think the next step would be now wiring and electronics. And I need to figure out that cable strain thingy somehow. Yeah. Oh yeah, you see here like the cables go to top. But then basically like the cables now come out right here of the motor. And in the original, basically like this cable strain part would like block that. So you basically would like pinch the cables there. Umbilical length about 200 millimeters, it's fine. Yes, I think cable measurement is fine. Yeah, electronics and wiring. Do I start that now or do I do that tomorrow? I think that's for tomorrow. Like so tomorrow's still like a holiday. So I'll have some time. I think, yeah. It would be like a good cutoff point. So we did the entire tool head in one go, which is really nice. It's like a PSU fan. And then like the dangerous part. And then I guess we're just like off to the LDO wiring guide. Yeah, I also like it's not too many cables to be honest. Like it's everything's pre-cut. So it shouldn't take too long. Ja, der gute Pfingstmontag. Yes, it's what was it in English? White Monday? Whit Monday? Something like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I think then call it a day. That's I guess really good progress. Like I would have thought it would take me like much longer to get to this point. Okay. It looks really clean. It's nice. Okay, cool. Then thanks for being here. Maybe if you want to, you can join around the same time tomorrow, I guess, like tomorrow afternoon. In the morning, I have to work on my app a bit. There's also plenty of work always. And yeah, cool. Then see you tomorrow. Have a nice evening.